Hello everyone, I'm Dhriti Patel. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about pocket notebook. I have been journaling since years, but pocket notebooks have been a recent thing for me as well. I'm pretty sure everybody has a small little notebook lying around waiting to be used. So let's get into it. Yeah, so these are the books, these are my pocket notebooks, and we'll go through them one by one. First, where you can use a notebook is as a catch-all system, as in you carry it everywhere with you, you keep it in your pocket, you use it like it's supposed to be used, and you write in it anytime a thought occurs to you. If you have ideas, if you have in progress on any project that you're making, it's just a catch-all system. A lot of people use the term commonplace notebook. Everybody has their own distinction of what they call a commonplace notebook and what a diary and what is a journal. But ignore all of that, just keep it with you all the time and use it for whatever purpose you need to use the notes app on your phone for. The phone is it's a black hole, right? You open it to type something, a quick shopping list on your notes app, but then it has sucked you into this person has texted you, this person hasn't texted you. That is more of a problem. And all of those things are just absolute suckers for our time, right? A notebook has only one purpose and it fulfills that very beautifully. It's just pen and paper. You need to jot something down real quick. You can do that without going into the unnecessary hassle of notifications and missed calls and whatnot. Okay. So this helps you use your phone less. I do not have a pocket notebook that works as a catch-all because this is the diary that I have ongoing. It stays on my table all the time. So this is my catch-all. So I don't need a catch-all pocket notebook for that. We're going to talk about the uses and purposes and benefits of all each of these pocket notebook ideas under three categories. First is focus. How does it help your focus? How does it help you focus more? Second is create. How does it help you add more creation into your lives? And the third is documentation. How does it help to record your life, record whatever stage of your life that you are at? It helps you focus by making you use your phone less. It helps you focus by just not having to carry thoughts in your head. You're going about your day, you have two to three things that you need to do. You can just jot them down. And when you write them down, they are there on the paper. You don't have to carry them in your head. Right. If you're 25 right now, and if at 30 you want to look back on how your days at 25 looked like, and you can just open a catch-all and you will be reminded, oh yeah, I made this to-do list because I was working on this project. Oh yeah, this day I jotted down the list of things that I wanted to get from the stationery because I was doing this. So it works really well for all the three fronts. It helps you focus, it helps you create, and it documents your life in that era. Was about the life catch-all. Now the second way is the project catch-all. If there is any stage of a life that has a confined period, like it starts on this time and it ends at this date, if you have a project that you're working on, if you have to plan for something, if you have a wedding to plan, if you have a trip to plan, a study plan you're working on, if there is a diet you're maintaining, if there is an exercise routine you want to keep up, I'll show you my project catch up. It's not a pocket notebook per se, this is just a big diary. It is my YouTube catch-all. It has the things, my ideas, and all the things that I might get about YouTube. I have another bigger book that also works as my YouTube ideation. But yeah, this is the catch-all. I write what learnings I learned from making which video and what can I make better in the next video. I have everything categorized. So this is my YouTube catch-all. Like what things I learned from the third video that I made and what lessons did I learn from that. This is my commonplace notebook for YouTube. This is my project catch-all for my final year university exam. This is how I made it. This is a pocket notebook that I made. I just stapled together a beautiful paper that I had and cut up A4 size papers. And yeah, that is how I made it. I used to write everything, how much time it took me to complete what topic and how long I was taking it and how long I was planning to do it in. And just any time at the end of it, I have a little post-exam list as in what I wanted to do after the exams ended. So this is my final year university exams catch-all notebook. I also plan to use little notebooks like these throughout my internship. What I'm gonna do is I will make separate pocket notebooks for each department that I'm posted in. So for every department, I have a little notebook and I can just fill it up over the course of however I may need it. I'm not sure how that is going to be planned right now, but let's see how that goes. So that was the project catch-all. Now we have the logbook. This is my logbook. It is inspired by Austin Kleon's logbooks, the way he writes about logbooks and the way he talks about, and the shelves full of logbooks that he has from, I don't know, 2014. And yeah, it has been 10 plus years of him documenting every single day of his life. So this is my logbook for that. I started it at the start of 2025 and so far it has been going amazingly. I'm absolutely loving writing inside of this. The reason it helps your focus is because it doesn't make your days go together, run together. Our days have a tendency of running together. So this helps you remember your days, document your days. I can look at any page and be reminded what I had that day, what I did that day, what I ate, who I was with. And that is a very beautiful thing to me. Our memories have shortened a lot. The most we can remember is what we had for lunch today. If asked about yesterday's lunch, then also we would just come up a blank a lot of the times. So this helps you focus that way. Then it helps you create by looking through your days and looking for patterns, and you recognize what patterns are going on in your life. If what patterns you want to continue with, what patterns you want to abandon for now. Then the third way is obviously it's very clear documentation. I would love to have a shelf full of just logbooks. This is how much distance we've covered this year. And one more added benefit is that it's just one little page, like one single page from the entire day. You can just write about what you ate and if you liked it or not and call it a day. That's fine. You can just write tired, slept a lot, and that's also done for the day. That will be very precious to you 10 years down the line. If you're looking at like on 27th of January, I was super tired. 27th of January 2025, I was super tired and just slept. So as I was saying, one way this has helped me a lot is that I have been journaling since years. So whenever there is a day that I have a lot of fun, but I don't have the energy to write it, to document it, I feel really sad because I want to document that day of my life. I just want to sit and write about how I felt throughout the day, what I did, who I was with, what I ate, all of those things. I just want to sit and write about it. So this also helps with that because it's just one page. I can just quickly jot down. Yesterday was one of those days I did not have the energy to document my day. It was such a beautiful day, but I did not have the energy to do it. So I just jotted down the most important parts of it. And I have something, right? I haven't lost the day completely. It has taken away my fear of just losing my days. I love this book so much. I'm gonna continue this for all the days of my life. Next up, we have a distraction journal. I also made this book. It's a beautiful textured paper, and I stapled together A4 size papers and just started using it. Yeah. I have also called it my book of boredom. Whenever you are sitting down to have a study session, you have 10 different things that come to you on your mind over the course of like 2 minutes. While I'm studying, I have this thought, I have to ask this question to this person, I have to text this person, I have to tell this to mom, I have to inform this person of this, I have this doubt. If I just follow all of those trails of thoughts, and if I have ideas about YouTube, about what I'm gonna do after my exams, and if I follow all those trails of thoughts, my study session would be completely derailed. That has happened too many times for me to not be vigilant about it. So what I thought of doing was, we're just not bored these days because of the constant stimulation that we have, right? That we can have right at our fingertips at absolutely no cost whatsoever. So yeah, this is my book of boredom. This is for all the study sessions where I've put away my phone and I'm not gonna be looking at my phone for like the next 2 hours, 3 hours. And I have this book. At the front of it, I write my thoughts. If I have any ideas or anything, I write about the how the process is going, process of focusing. And at the end, I put on the date and I write all the distraction points that do occur on my mind. If there is a YouTube video that I had saved to watch later, and at that point it just occurred to me that I wanted to see that video. So instead of going and seeing that video, I can just write it here and then see it on a later note. So this also helps with the concept of surfing the urges. If you have an urge, you don't immediately give in. You let it rest. You don't tell yourself, no, I'm not gonna do this right now, because no doesn't work. Trying to suppress the urge doesn't work. So what you tell yourself is, not right now. While you're studying and you have this urge to do something, you just tell yourself, not right now. Maybe 10 minutes later if you still want to do that thing. And guess what? 10 minutes later, if you allow the full 10 minutes to pass and you continue on your work, so 10 minutes later, you're probably not going to want to do that. Now, this is the book that I have. This is one of the most beautiful diaries that I own. It has golden on it. It's very beautiful. It's extremely beautiful. It is so beautiful that I did not write in it for years on it end. Then we have notes from 2017. This is how my handwriting looked in 2017. I'm so grateful that I have this. Then I used it for writing down quotes that appealed to me from the books that I was reading. It was mostly just Harry Potter and Cassandra Clare. And then I did not use it for 2 solid years. Then there are some notes from 2018, and then I started writing again in 2020. So I use it to write quotes that appeal to me now at this point in my life. This is back when I was obsessed with Roman numerals and I just used to date my days like that. One way you can use it is you take out your book of quotes, collection of quotes, whenever you're feeling bored, so that it stimulates your mind into thinking in a certain direction and you're not derailed by a constant stream of videos or photos. And it does a beautiful job of collecting all the things that are important to you at that point in your life at that age. In 2017, 13th of March, I had written, if you ever feel bad about yourself, just remember that if you were a fictional character, people would probably love you for all your flaws and quirks and mannerisms and that you probably hate. So just remember that. Everything is okay. You're awesome. So I don't know what this was. This was probably I read something on Pinterest and wrote it down. This was probably something that I thought and just wrote it down. This was probably somebody said something to me and I wrote it down. But it is so beautiful to me that 2017 Dhriti wrote this down. So this is just a collection of quotes. You can use it to put whatever quotes that appeal. It could be self-improvement, it could be about gym, it could be about the fictional novels that you're reading. It could be beautiful sentences that you came across while reading books that you want to use in your own writing. It could be quotes by people, like famous people that you're trying to remember, that you're trying to memorize, to quote them on a later note in conversations, and people are just wowed as in like, how do you remember that? Because you've been looking at these same quotes every day since the past month and you just remember who said what right now. The next way that you can use a diary is a list of 10. During the study session, if I want to bring myself back to the studying and I have a couple of thoughts on any front, then I just write that topic as heading and then I list 10 things. The thing that I made compulsory for myself was that it has to be a list of 10. Because if I'm writing about something and I have 3 ideas, and I force myself to finish the list of 10, then out of the 6 ideas that I just generated newly, 4 are gonna be really bad. But the 2 ideas that I forced myself to make, 2 ideas out of the 6 ideas are gonna be good and usable. I'll just read out the headings that I wrote in 2021. 10 topics I'm interested to read about, non-fiction. 10 reasons I need a laptop. 10 reasons I need to write a book. 5 reasons to not post on socials. 10 habitual fronts I can improve on. 10 ways I can apply the art of discarding. 10 things that would be high intensity fun for me. 10 ways to turn a bad day around. 10 ways to facilitate thinking. Then 2022 was 10 ways I can study better. 10 Cal Newport ideas to implement. Then 2025, I wrote things I can do right now to decrease the overwhelm for myself. Phone out of the way. How do I change my relationship with my iPad? Why to prepare well for my PDA Viva as a student. Yeah, so that is just because I was not feeling very well before the PDA Viva. So this is a list of 10 that you can use. You can create the list, the headings as they are relevant to you. If you have trouble coming up with more than 3, just force yourself to sit down and write. Another way that you can use is, this is a mini visual diary. I started to fill with all the shenanigans of my brother. Like he does a lot of quirky, funny, chaotic things throughout the day, every day. So I have something from him every day. And I draw a little sketch, a little doodle, a little drawing if it is there. And then I write down what he said, why he did what he did, all of that. So it can be used as a mini visual diary. You can either choose to have it about something, about one specific thing, as in you draw your pet every day, you draw your coffee mug every day, you draw one thing from your day every day. Or you can have it as a just a visual diary where you draw something from your day and write about it. This is a very low intensity way to keep up, to document, to create, to draw, because drawing and sketching and writing and speaking and reading, all of those things are to humans as singing is to birds. We just need to do them on a daily basis. We cannot be lost in touch with them for how long we have been. It's not, I'm gonna draw only if I can sell my painting. I'm only gonna sing if I'm good at it. You need to sing bad songs, you need to sing badly, you need to do all of those things. You need to write badly, you need to read badly. You just need to write and read and draw and all of those things. And I cannot stress that enough. So this is just one of the ways I've started doing it. One last bonus thing you can do is you can create a journal of firsts, a pocket notebook of firsts, where you write down what thing you did for the first time. Our life is filled with firsts, we're just not receptive enough to them. I do not have a pocket notebook for it because in my main diary, I have a page at the front or at the end. Right now, in this diary, it is at the front where I just list down something that I did for the first time that day. Like if you fried a new fruit, if you did a certain food combination, if your dad and your brother threw you in the swimming pool for the first time yesterday. So, all of those things, they are very special and very important in your life. You need to keep a list of those things. It would be very beautiful for you to see what things you did for the first time in 2024. So start making one right now. Those are the ways, the 7 ways and the one bonus way for which I'm using my pocket notebooks. If you have any more ideas, then drop them in the comment down below for other people. If you have any questions, then also let me know, I'll answer them. Just a quick heads up for using the pocket notebooks. Buy it cheap, buy it super cheap. You're not worried about ruining the notebook, because a lot of people are worried about not doing things perfectly and then they don't do it at all. Done is better than perfect, right? So just get a cheap notebook and get started, so you're not worried about ruining the pages. If you ruin a page, just cross it off and use the next one. It's not a big deal. Carry it with you, have it on you always. Most important thing, date everything. Whatever squiggly line you make, whatever circle you make, whatever doodle you make, whatever single sentence you write, date everything. Your future self is not gonna be more grateful. You need to date everything. I have some diaries in which I have not dated things. I don't know what year they are from. I just know that they are from before 2011. So don't do that. Write the date on every little thing that you draw or write or do. For starting out, you don't even need to buy a sketch. You can just make one. This beautiful books I made on my own. You can make your own sketchbooks. It's not a big deal. You have paper. And lastly, just to try out different things. Take one of my ideas, take one of some other YouTubers' ideas, take an idea from a notebook, whatever. Just try out a bunch of different things. See what sticks for you. These are all the things that have stuck for me. These are all the things that work for me. Try out different things just to see what works for you, what paper, what pen, what style, what pattern, anything. Just start doing it. And at the start, try out a bunch of different things. So you know what you don't like. And then just keep reassessing what is sitting right with you and what is not. Thank you so much for watching. That was the video.